It's here at the Richmond Art Center right now. It's called Dancing Up a Storm. And even as late as last night, I received a highly complimentary letter from one email from one of the high school kids who came by to see it. The inspiration for that particular piece was there's a dancing group coming out of South Africa, KwaZulu-Natal, that the young high school kids are formed, not high school kids, but they were young poverty-stricken kids, probably from the ages of 18 to 30, and they formed a powerful dancing group, a powerful dancing and singing ensemble, and they are just, to me, they're one of the greatest things on earth. So I studied their video. I bought it. It cost quite a bit of money. But I studied them, and then I tried to put that on paper. So that's my main inspiration at this point in time right now. So they're just simply fantastic.
Do you remember the first time you watched them?
I don't watch a lot of TV, but I was surfing TV at this time, and I saw on one of the PBS stations where they had these young group of scantily clad young ladies dancing, and then powerful drumming men, and I was quite taken by what I'd seen, and then as I stayed there and watched it and understood what they were doing, what they're trying to present, it was just simply a powerful experience. So I found out where to send for the CD-ROM that they had on sale, did so, and I watch it almost nightly. And that's been a year ago.
And then how did you turn it into an artwork?
Well, they had so much energy, so much skill. And the Zulu, it's the Zulu people, and they're so powerful with their dancing performances that I wanted to see if I could capture any of that on my medium, which is paper, which is my medium, drawing surface, and bleach is my medium. So, like it's trying to make those two come together and give a Zulu experience. And then at the same time, because they're such a colorful people with their costumes and whatnot, using the color of the bead work and stuff like that, because one of the things that I do when I start an art piece is I research it pretty thoroughly. I read about the person or the people that I'm reading about so that I know how to put their attitudes into the piece. So I learned in studying the Zulu that their beadwork is actually communication pieces, that the colors, it makes a difference which color is next to the other. And since they deal a lot with triangles on their beadwork, if it points up or if it points down, it can tell the marital status, who your lover is, what ranking you are in your family clan, what tribe you belong to. All these things are written into their beadwork, and it's very, very important to them and to me now.
What is it about that dance that you think speaks to you? What is the emotion that's there?
Well, the reason that I like that dance, it goes back to the TV series Shaka Zulu, in that it shows a pretty weak little group of people that was transformed into one of the mightiest fighting nations on earth. And the way that they described that, or the way that they demonstrated that, was in their dance. And their dance was based upon the animals that they lived around. And their strongest dance is called the bull dance. And it's they will stomp. They will lift their legs way above their head and stomp. And they'll do it in such a rhythmic fashion that it's just powerful to watch. It's just inspirational to see. So that's what I have tried to put into a lot of the artwork. Okay, my name is TheArthur, Wright, and I work in bleach to do my images for the most part. So I guess images like this are basically inspired. This is kind of like, I think, one of the joyful shouts that people are known to have from time to time. And it's called Dancing Up a Storm. And it's kind of like the surface meaning of it, because hopefully I put in deeper meanings than that. But on the surface, it's just simply that she's expressing all of her power and joy to do her dance. I usually research my subject pretty well before I even get started. And I found out in my research that the patterns of the colors of the beads do have actual meaning, and they do communicate to the people who can understand what they say. And I can imagine they may have been using it all kinds of different ways as well, but like I say, the surface meaning of this is simply an expression of joy. I tried to indicate with the background that the universe sanctions a child of his, or of her, whatever. But at any rate, Zulu coloring and markings, I hope that anybody from South Africa will recognize it as such. So that's it, dancing up a storm.
I had a question for you. I noticed there's a lot of history that you represent throughout your artwork. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I guess long ago, going back, I really started painting somewhere around 30, 35 years ago. And I kind of set a goal for myself even then to use as much history as I could. If there's spirituality involved, I think that if that evolved as the art evolved. I do like research on whoever it is, if it's an American, African American, even if it's an American at all, Jack London, for instance, you know, that I do paint. I want to know where the warts are. I want to know if they're happy inside or outside. I want to know these things so that when I paint them, they can be expressed that way. So the history part of it, I've learned a lot of history. I've learned all about, well, not all about, but a lot about our history in America. I've learned that California history is probably as expressive for black history as almost any other part of the United States. There's a tremendous black history in America.